Hello everyone, it's Elliot here talking about the Criterion Collection again because Criterion have just announced their release slate for September 2020 and it looks like a pretty good one, though I do have a few questions about some of the releases in here, but I'm very intrigued. I really am intrigued. Some of these I've seen, some of them I haven't at all. So let's just get into this. I'll talk about them one by release date, and I'll let you know my brief thoughts about them. Starting us off, we have the film Brute Force, directed by Jules Dassin. This is a great prison drama starring Burt Lancaster. I'm a huge fan of Burt Lancaster. He might be my favourite actor. I've been watching a lot of his films lately. Anyway, that's beside the point. And this is one that had been a Criterion DVD in the past. So they're upgrading this to Blu-ray. Now, this had actually been out on Blu-ray for a few years from Arrow Academy. I do actually have this release from them, and this release was pretty good, but this is a few years old now. This came out in 2013, so this is a good 7 years old. What I've noted from the Criterion press release is that this is from a new 4K restoration, so by all means this film should look a lot better than this older Blu-ray. So it looks like if you've already got the Arrow Blu-ray, this is going to be well worth the upgrade. Because it's already been out on DVD in the Criterion Collection, it does have a spine number. It's spine number 383. And these special features, I'm just going to go through them now. So there's a new 4K digital restoration on the Blu-ray. There's an audio commentary from 2007 featuring film noir specialists Alan Silver and James Ursini. And they've done a few commentaries on some other Criterion releases as well, which have been very good. There's an interview from 2007 with Paul Mason, editor of Captured by the Media, Prison Discourse in Popular Culture. So it sounds like that's all about prison stuff, which Brute Force is prison stuff. There's a programme from 2017 on Brute Force's array of acting styles featuring film scholar David Bordwell. And that says Blu-ray only, so I'm guessing that might be the only new special feature on this. If you haven't seen Brute Force, I wholeheartedly recommend it. Burt Lancaster is great. Jules Dassin's direction is great. He made the great Rafifi, which is also available in the collection. So if you're a fan of Rafifi and that middle heist sequence in that film, there's a lot of brilliance in Brute Force. So if you've not seen it, I would say get this on your watch list, your pre-order list. Definitely one worth having. Also releasing on September 8th, 2020 is another Jules Dassin film. This is The Naked City. And this is another great Dassin film. What can I say? This is going to be a great double bill for anyone who hasn't seen these before. This one is more of like a crime thriller, like a hard-boiled crime thriller. It's a great film. And I'm just going to have a look. It's spine number 380. So this is an upgrade of the previously available DVD. So again, this is from a new 4K digital restoration. And like Brute Force, there is a previously available Arrow Academy Blu-ray. Again, this one is from 2013 or 2014, and this has just got a HD digital transfer. So by all means, it looks like this is going to be upgraded picture quality from the Arrow release. There's an audio commentary from 1996 featuring screenwriter Malvin Wald. Interview from 2006 with film scholar Dana Polan. There's an interview from 2006 with author James Sanders on the film's New York locations, and New York is a big part of the film as well. And then there's footage of director Jules Dassin from a 2004 appearance at the Los Angeles County Museum of Art. I don't actually have the DVD release to compare to that, so I'm not actually sure if any of those features are new, because they all sound like they're from quite a while ago. For me, it looks like an upgrade on the old Arrow Blu-ray, so I'm very excited for this one again. Next up, coming out on September 15th, 2020, is the film Beau Travail from Claire Denis. And this one has been a long time coming. I think this was teased quite a while ago. This is one I've not seen, but I've heard so much about this. And I'm quite a fan of the other works from Claire Denis that I've seen. I recently watched Let the Sun Shine In, which was a great film. I love Juliette Binoche. From what I understand, Beau Travail is one of Claire Denis' masterworks. Like, people put this like at the top of her oeuvre, her filmography. So I'm very intrigued to actually get a chance to watch this. So looking at the special features, there's a new 4K digital restoration supervised by director of photography Agnès Godard and approved by director Claire Denis. There's a new conversation between Denis and filmmaker Barry Jenkins, which is quite interesting. I think Barry Jenkins did take a lot of inspiration from some of Claire Denis' earlier works when he was making Moonlight. So that will be very interesting to check out. And it seems like Criterion have been courting Barry Jenkins for quite a while. So you've got to imagine that maybe Moonlight or If Beale Street Could Talk will come out soon. But anyway, that's beside the point. There's a selected scene commentary on here, new interviews with the actors, and there's a new video essay. So this looks like a great release. This is one of the top releases of this month, I think. This is one that I'm pre-ordering straight away. So that's Claire Denis' Beau Travail. If you've seen Beau Travail, let me know in the comments below if I've been missing out, because I feel like I've been missing out a lot on this. So I'm very excited. Next up, coming out on September 22nd, 2020, is the film Christ Stopped at Eboli. Francesco Rosi is a filmmaker that I have watched quite a few films of. They've been released here in the UK by some different labels, but films like Salvatore Giuliano is a tremendous work. I think Scorsese said that's like the Italian Citizen Kane. So he's a great filmmaker, Francesco Rosi, but this is one that hadn't been on my radar at all. Never heard of it, to be honest, and it's a pretty lengthy film. But anyway, spine number 1043, 220 minutes long. It says here this is going to be presented for the first time in its full-length 4-part cut. From reading the blurb, it just sounds like a look at rural Italy and all of the history of Italian culture and Italian leaders and things like that. I don't know much about this, so I can only talk very shallowly about this. New 2K digital restoration, new introduction by translator and author Michael F. Moore, documentary from 1978 on Italian political cinema featuring Francesco Rosi and actor Gian Maria Volante, excerpt from a 1974 documentary featuring Rosi and author Carlo Levi, excerpt from Marco Spagnoli's short 2014 documentary Unico, in which Rosi discusses Volante. Not much to say about it except that the other works from Rosi that I've seen I've really enjoyed. So this is one that I will probably check out at some point. It's not one that I'm leaping to pre-order, to be honest, but it sounds like you get a lot of bang for your buck at a near 4-hour film. So that's Christ Stopped at Eboli. This is a pretty stacked month because we've still got 2 more releases to talk about, and this next one is huge. This is Martin Scorsese's World Cinema Project number 3. Now, if you've bought either volume 1 or 2, you know how good these releases are. Like, the wealth of content that you get in these boxes is so good. And this number 3, this looks to follow the trend. I think for a long time people were wondering if we were ever going to get a number 3. But here we are, we have it. And it looks like it's got 6 feature-length films. And to be honest, I haven't heard of any of these films before. That humbles me because I like to think that I know quite a lot of films and I have a lot of films on my radar. But here we go. The World Cinema Project has dug up 6 films that I have no clue about. So let's have a look. It's spine number 1044, so as a collection it has 1 spine number. Oh, and it looks like it's Blu-ray and DVD combo pack, so you get this across 9 discs, which is pretty interesting. So the 6 films, the first one is Lucia. This is a film from 1968, and I don't know much about this at all. It's from Umberto Solas. This is a Cuban film, a breathtaking vision of Cuban revolutionary history, wrought with white-hot intensity by Umberto Solas. I don't know much about Cuban history, and what I found from these World Cinema Project boxes is that not only has it shown me a lot of great cinema, but they've also been very informative in terms of informing me about history, because I don't know much about history beyond what I learned at school and then what I've read in some books and seen through cinema. So when you get these films that are from a country and are showing an authentic representation of the history of a place, yeah, it's so valuable to me. That's Lucia. I'm just going to quickly brush through the rest of these because, to be honest, I'm not going to be providing any important comments about these because I'm totally in the dark. But the next one is After the Curfew. This is from 1954 from director Uzmar Ismail. The third film in the set is Piote from Hector Babenco. This is from Brazil from 1981. The fourth film is Dos Monjes from Juan Bustillo Oro. That's a Mexican film from 1934. Interestingly, recently, I know Guillermo del Toro mentioned on Twitter that he was helping Criterion restore a lot of old Mexican films. So maybe del Toro was actually involved in Dos Monjes. The fifth film is Soleil O from Med Hondo. This is from Mauritania, 1970. And the last film, the sixth film from the set, is Downpour from Bahram Bezai. That's from Iran, 1972. I know nothing about those films, and I imagine many of you know nothing about them as well. All I can say is I'm pre-ordering this straight away because the first two box sets were so invaluable. I know I keep saying that. This World Cinema Project box set has me so excited. So yeah, spy number 1044. The final film being released in September 2020 on the 29th is The Elephant Man. This is The Elephant Man from David Lynch. So first of all, The Elephant Man is of course a great film. David Lynch, a great filmmaker, and it seems like Criterion are on a crusade to get as many David Lynch films into the collection, because this is the first time it's been available in the collection. This is spy number 1051. I could talk about how good the film is, the performances from Anthony Hopkins and John Hurt. I'm not going to do that here. It's a great film. If you've not seen it, you should check it out. What I'm going to talk about, though, is the fact that this is the first time it's coming to Criterion, and it seems like it's been a long time coming, but this has been recently released elsewhere around the world, including the UK, on a 4K Blu-ray. And not just a 4K Blu-ray, but a stacked release with tons of special features. Pretty much what some people would call a perfect release. This seems like it would have been the perfect opportunity for Criterion to enter the 4K Blu-ray market. So why haven't they taken it? And does this indicate that they're not going to join 4K at all anytime in the near future? This pretty much confirms something that I've heard for a long time, in that Criterion's fan base, so us as fans, still predominantly buy DVDs. Not even predominantly Blu-rays, but DVDs are still a massive share of Criterion sales. So it makes sense for Criterion, if they're seeing that DVDs are where most of their revenue is coming from and Blu-ray is only just growing, why would they enter the 4K market if most of these releases aren't going to make them much money? So very, very interesting to see this. Off the top of my head, I don't know how these special features compare with the already available 4K disc. But yeah, there's director David Lynch and critic Christine McKenna reading from Room to Dream, which is the book that they wrote together. And there's tons of archival interviews with the actors and the filmmakers and whatnot. There's an audio recording from 1981 of an interview with Lynch at the American Film Institute. There's The Terrible Elephant Man Revealed, which is a documentary about the film from 2001. And then there's a booklet with some writings. That's The Elephant Man, spine number 1051, coming in September. There you have it. Those were just my initial thoughts about the releases that Criterion are putting out in September. So let me know in the comments below what you thought about these new announcements. And if you've seen any of these in particular and really are very excited, I'd love to hear that. And yeah, if you like this video, please do stick around for more videos about the Criterion Collection and click that subscribe button. I will be back with more videos about the Criterion Collection very soon. So if you want to stick around on the channel, just click whatever video is hovering around my face at the moment, because I give so many recommendations about what you can buy during sales, and I know that the Barnes & Noble sale is just around the corner. I'll be back with more videos very soon, but until then, stay well and keep watching great films.